What's up, Copy Squad? Coming to you live from Delray Beach, Florida, outside my favorite Capital One cafe. I want to address a question I got yesterday. The question is about system promos and essentially designing your system offer and product. So the question is, for system promos, does a publisher come up with the specifics, or do you help with developing the actual system? The next part would be, if you actually help with the system development, do you attach that system idea to an already existing product, or do you develop a new system idea for a new product? So it's a three-part question, right? And it's kind of like a little bit of the latter part, where I don't necessarily come up with a system idea. So basically, with a system idea, I can use an example for a system I started to develop for a promo recently, and the way that worked is the publisher knew that, and I'm going to try to tie this into like the greater business world too. So if you're not even working in financial copywriting or anything like that, I'll teach you a little bit about how to go about teasing out these things. It should also apply to regular small business owners and stuff like that for developing your own system offer or your own like info product. So essentially, the publisher says, "Hey man, my guru," right? The publisher publishes a financial personalities like stuff, right? All their advice, all their newsletters, and he says, "My guru A," or "my personality A," or whoever this person is that's like a famous person on YouTube or whatever, or Twitter. They have this idea for a new trading system that they want to promote. And generally speaking, these systems aren't really new. Like this personality, this guru, this is the first time they've done it. But there's only like 2 or 3 ways to get into the stock market unless you're like an accredited investor, and that's like to trade stocks or trade options. And then from there, you kind of got to get creative. So that's where the copywriter comes into play, right? The publisher will say, "We've got this idea for an options trading service, right? We want to do options, and we're thinking like we want to get big, fast gains. Here's some of the specifics," right? They'll give you like they can kind of understand what the copywriter is trying to accomplish. So when it comes to this, do I attach it to an already existing product, or do I do it for a new product? You can do it for an already existing product. It's easier to do it for a new product. Basically, what you're doing is you're going to look for the USP of this product. And a lot of times the USP, which is the unique selling proposition, isn't really that unique. It's like, I read this one thing, I think it was out of Joseph Sugarman's book, where they were selling fire detectors, and they were not selling very well. So they were like, "Okay, well, let's write that the conduits or conductors are gold-plated." And the guy was like, "Well, all of conduits and conductors and all fire detectors are gold-plated." He said, "Yeah, but nobody talks about it." Another example like that is the cigarette campaign for, what was it? Was it Lucky Strike cigarettes or something like that back in the 60s or 70s? I don't know if it's a Mad Men thing or a real thing. But essentially, they were looking for an advertising slogan where they can't say cigarettes are safe anymore, right? Because the FDA or Surgeon General said you can't say cigarettes are safe anymore. Not even like they're less risky. You can't talk about health. You can't make any health claims whatsoever. So they said, "Okay, well, what can we say about our cigarettes?" And they said, "Well, what's the process?" They went through the process, and they came to this part where we'll be lightly toasted or something like that. And the whole slogan, the whole advertising campaign became, "It's toasted," even though every cigarette is toasted, right? So essentially, when it comes to these system promos, it's a lot easier to do with a brand new product because what you can say is, new is exciting, right? And we talk about all the time, the 4 things. Yeah, so I'm writing a book about 4 things, and those things are new, safe, easy, and big, okay? So whenever you're writing copy, those are the elements that you've got to hit. So when you're developing a system, the very first, most important thing you must strike is that it is brand new. And I say that because with all systems, you're generally selling something that someone has sold 1,000,000 times before. There really aren't any new ways to make money in the stock market, for instance. There is really no new way to lose weight fast, right? There's the same old things, man. Diet and exercise. Invest in stocks, buy low, sell high, right? That's how you make money in stocks, and that's how you lose weight, diet and exercise. But that's not sexy, right? So now you need keto diet, you need Mediterranean diet, you need the paleo diet, you need the Atkins diet, all this stuff. You need P90X, you need muscle confusion. This is just taking old things and giving them new names. Muscle confusion is BS. I don't think it's backed by science at all. It's just a claim they make, and they slapped it on there. That product, P90X, failed 13 times. It was either, no, it might have been that or the South Beach Diet. One of those two things, South Beach Diet or P90X, I can't remember. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. One of them failed 13 times as a product, and then they just changed what they called it. On the 14th time, it became a bajillion-dollar product. It was either South Beach Diet is just a low-carb diet. That's what they first called it. The low-carb diet. No one cares. That's not sexy. They had to give it a sexy name. So, the question again, does the publisher come up with the specifics of the system, or do you help? And if you help, do you attach the system to an already existing product, or do you help make the product? I generally try to help make the product a little bit as much as I can. And I mean that to say, if I see like there is a sliver of opportunity, like, okay, if we could just do this a little bit faster, no one's ever done it this fast before. If we could do it just with this little tweak, no one's ever done it like that before. Can we make that work in the system? I will try to put that by the publisher or the guru and see if it's possible to work within their system this little tweak. Because once we have that little tweak in there, no matter how marginal its actual effect is, I can highlight it in my offer as this is the first time ever that anyone's ever done this before. Even if it is something completely tertiary and like off to the sidelines of the actual system, I can highlight that feature and make it very new and unique. And I think new and unique is going to be your #1 priority when it comes to developing a system. Because again, no matter what you're selling, I need to come up with new examples, but I always go to like basketball training. If you're selling like a sports training or something like that, like basketball drills, you've got to imagine there's a lot of people out there who have tried to be really great at basketball and failed. Why is your thing different, right? And so unless you can capture that imagination that this is finally the solution that you've been looking for, no one's going to buy it. So when it comes to like attaching these things to an existing product, if you want to do it, if you want to come up with a system idea or a system offer for an existing product, tease out the USP. And the USP, a lot of times, unique selling proposition, isn't always unique. It's just the thing that you highlight as unique, right? That no one else has highlighted yet. Okay, so that's one way. The other way is if I can develop the system or help develop the system, if I can just get one element in there that I've never heard before, something completely weird that'll capture attention and present my product as brand new, I will ask them, will this work within your system? I see an opportunity here. If we can just tell the audience that we can do this, can we make that happen? And the guru will say yes or no. And you kind of work from there. You kind of go with the options that are available to you, but you got to be creative. So what's really cool is this all goes back to the language of copywriting itself, man. 4 things. You got to prove that something's new, safe, easy, and big, right? When it comes to the big for a system, you just got to prove that your results will be phenomenal. When it comes to safe, you just got to prove that these results are predictable and consistent. When it comes to easy, you just got to label it as steps 1, 2, and 3. There you go. Bing, bang, boom. All right. You speak the language of copy. You do not need to know how to write copy. You just need to know these things. If you want to learn how to write words that really make you rich, if you want to master the secret language of sales that speaks directly to the emotional center of the brain, check out my book, Take Their Money. It's at kylewriter.com/book. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out. Copy Squad.